Hey everyone, this is at now_world_order, and sorry I had to make this into a two-part video. My camera cut out after number 10, Adrian Neville, on my list, so this video specifically will be my top 9 prospects, just a continuation of the video previous to this one. So I'll jump right into it. Number 9, I've got Cody Rhodes. He's great in the ring, he's good on the mic, he comes from a wrestling family, has tons of experience in the WWE, has been pushed in the past, and I really liked his undashing gimmick, and that's something that I think was pretty underrated. I liked the baggers who came out. I liked his slow, methodical promos that were similar to the Best in the World Chris Jericho. And I think overall he's a very, very solid performer. Some of his downsides, though, is he's been in the company a long time, and he has never had a major championship run, the Intercontinental title being the highest success he's had thus far in his career. But he keeps finding himself in these tag teams, and sometimes it's great. Like, I think the tag team of him and Goldust is a great tag team. But at the same time, he's won the tag team titles multiple times, and I think at this point in his career he should be a full-on singles performer in the upper mid-card to main event level. And I think he's the kind of guy who's reliable enough that he's going to do what the company wants him to, and he's going to do a good job at it, and he's going to keep pushing through, and he's going to be a big star in their future. It's just taking him longer than others, but I think he's still going to get there, and I have by no means at all given up on Cody Rhodes. So once again, my number 9, Cody Rhodes. Number 8, a newcomer to the WWE main roster with his re-debut, and that is Bo Dallas. He's solid in the ring, he's great on the mic, he has a unique gimmick. His brother, Bray Wyatt, is also a great wrestler, great talent. I think the girls seem to love the guy, and dudes love to hate him. And I think that's a recipe for a good performer for WWE's future. His gimmick's very cheesy, but it's cheesy in an entertaining way. The only downside I really think he has is sometimes he's trying so hard to play that cheesy character that it comes off almost fake. But at the same time, it's still entertaining. And, he's going to always kind of compare with Bray Wyatt as far as his career goes, I think, because people do know that they're brothers. But they're both very talented, and they're both going to have great futures. The verdict's still very young on Bo Dallas, but I think so far in his very young career, he's doing great, and I see a great future for him. So once again, number 8 is Bo Dallas. Number 7 is a member of the Wyatt family. It's Luke Harper. Luke Harper is great in the ring. He has great size, but he can move like a cruiserweight. He has a lot of independent experience, and he has really good chemistry with top guys. He's been wrestling guys like Dean Ambrose and Daniel Bryan for a long time, even outside of the WWE. Some downsides for now, in the immediate future, at least for him, he's going to play second fiddle to Bray Wyatt in the Wyatt family, but after his character is tweaked, they'll have to tweak his look, they'll have to do something about his gimmick whenever that group inevitably breaks up sometime in the future. I hope it's not anytime real soon. But I think Luke Harper is the kind of guy who could be a main eventer very easily, and I think he's got the size, the look, the talent to be a big-time future main event heavyweight champion for the WWE. So once again, number 7 is Luke Harper. Number 6, Sami Zayn in NXT. He's phenomenal in the ring. He gets over everywhere he works, everywhere in the world. He has good mic skills. He has tons of experience. He has a great mind for WWE. what else can you really say about Sami Zayn? Uh, for longtime fans like myself and like I'm sure many of the people watching right now, we all know him better as El Generico from the Independents. And I think the only downside to Sami Zayn is that people still want El Generico. As Triple H kind of said on NXT Takeover, the after show on the WWE Network, he called him something along the lines of a goofy Arab redhead, Canadian, and it's kind of true, but it's one of those scenarios where he's going to get over, and he's already probably the most over guy in NXT. He gets the Olay chance just like he did in the Independence, and his in-ring style, it's very entertaining, and I don't have a whole lot of bad things to say about Sami Zayn. I think he has a very bright future, and he's another guy that I believe will be called called up to the WWE main roster very soon. So once again, number 6 is Sami Zayn. Number 5, the man my first YouTube video was about, Seth Rollins. He's phenomenal in the ring. He's good on the mic. He's always been a top guy everywhere he's gone. He has tons of experience. I talked more in depth about how I feel about Seth Rollins in my previous video, the one about Seth Rollins' heel turn on the Shield. But the Shield was very over. They were one of the greatest groups in WWE history, and I think as time continues and we look back 10, 20 years from now, we're going to see them as even better as how we see them now. And the only downside to Seth Rollins is the other two members of the Shield. I think in the overall picture of their 3 careers, I think Seth Rollins will be the least successful of the 3. And I don't mean that as a way of digging at Seth Rollins. I think he's an incredible performer. I think he's awesome. But I think, as you'll see on this list, that the other 2 members in the Shield are going to have better overall careers as singles performers. But that being said, number 5 on my list is Seth Rollins. Number 4, the newest Heyman guy, Cesaro. Phenomenal in the ring, a successful Heyman guy, tons of experience, will only get better with new talent, and he was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner at WrestleMania, which was very impressive when he slammed the Big Show over the top rope. I was there live. It was incredible. I was there live the next night at Raw as well to watch him become a Heyman guy, and I'll just go ahead and say that Raw, I've been to 2 WrestleManias, probably close to 20 Raws, some ROH shows. I've seen a lot of professional wrestling live, and my favorite show I've ever gone to was the Raw after WrestleMania this past year in New Orleans. And a big part of that, the reason that show was so great was Cesaro. And like I said, I see nothing but bright future for Cesaro. To my understanding, the WWE corporate office, the guys making the decisions, Vince McMahon mainly, Triple H, I'm sure, are very high on Cesaro, and he's going to be a big-time player in the future of that company. Can't say anything bad about Cesaro. The only thing is he's not the best on the microphone, but he doesn't have to be. And for the little he needs to talk, he does a great job. The rest of it, as long as it's with Paul Heyman, he'll have the best mouthpiece and the best manager, in my opinion, in the history of professional wrestling. So once again, number 4, Cesaro. Number 3, Dean Ambrose. Great in the ring, has a great gimmick, phenomenal on the mic. He has a gigantic upside, unique look. He's a lifelong fan, and it translates into his work. And he's got a loose cannon type character. When I say loose cannon, of course, I'm referring to the late Brian Pillman, who I think was one of, if not the most underrated, underused talents in the history of wrestling, but then again, he also died young. Had he been around during the bulk of the Attitude Era, I think he would have been one of the biggest characters, one of the most successful guys in the history of the industry. I really believe that. And for me to say Dean Ambrose reminds me of him is a giant compliment. Ambrose reminds us of a lot of guys. I mentioned that in my Seth Rollins Turns on the Shield video as well. The only downside I could possibly see to Ambrose is there's one more member of the Shield that I think is going to have a bigger career. And Ambrose, that being said, I look very forward to the future with Ambrose playing a character that's more crazy, more loony, kind of what he would do on the Independents, probably toned down though for the PG audience. But I'm really looking forward to the days of Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt matches, or Dean Ambrose versus Cesaro matches for the title. You know, things like that make me excited to be a wrestling fan in the future. So once again, number 3, Dean Ambrose. Number 2, Roman Reigns. Good in the ring, decent on the mic. He's a once-in-a-lifetime look. Phenomenal wrestling genes and the potential future face of WWE. And I mean that literally. I think that Roman Reigns is going to be bred to be the top babyface in the company. I think it's going to happen within the next year or two. And when I say he has a once-in-a-lifetime look, I mean it from the sense of he's got the size and the look and the athleticism and the background to where he's the kind of talent that doesn't come around, but very, very few and far between. And I think that he's going to get the rub from a lot of big time people from the past and present. And I think Roman Reigns is going to be the man in the company. Number 2 to who I have number 1 on the list at least. So once again, Roman Reigns. As a fan, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in a singles career. And I'll just go ahead and say collectively, overall, the Shield, I think, was the best group of 3 new guys on the scene collectively that I've ever seen. And I've been watching professional wrestling every week since 1994. So once again, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, all in my top 5. What more could you ask for? So number 2 overall, Roman Reigns. Which brings me to number 1. And you've already guessed it if you're a wrestling fan. It's Bray Wyatt. Guy's great in the ring. Phenomenal on the mic. He has a very unique look. He's the future of the WWE. Straight up. Only downside I can possibly think of with him, maybe his size, but I think it adds to his character. Some people criticize the fact that he's huskier, pun totally intended, by the way. And man, Wyatt cuts the best promos currently in the company. He's having great matches. He's had phenomenal matches with Daniel Bryan. Him with the Wyatt family against the Shield has been great this past year. I can't say enough about it. I think Bray Wyatt, when I say the future, I think we're looking at the next 10 years of Bray Wyatt as the top bad guy. We got Roman Reigns, the top good guy. And we trickle in some guys from this list and some guys that are currently on the roster that have won the championship before, like Daniel Bryan, for instance. I think we got a lot to look forward to as wrestling fans. We need to be a little less critical on this business.